In most of my reed making videos, I'm sitting there doing it in one step. But today I want to stress how important it is to do it in more than one sitting, because the cane changes so much that you can make a reed and the next day it's completely different. Let me just show you how I do this, and so I'll do it over the course of a few days and you can see. Just start by putting the tip in there. And when you scrape, keep the knife flat, not angled like that, and not, you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit, but I find that, like the J-Light video I have, when you scrape the center of the reed to the corners, you want the knife flat. You don't want it like this, because you're going to leave too much in the middle. The reed, the tip's not going to vibrate well. So if you're scraping toward the corners, keep the knife flat, because remember that there's more cane in the middle and you're going to have to remove it in order for that tip to vibrate. I'll put in the okay. There's the other side. It's best to let, and I know you've heard this from other teachers differently, from other players, but it's best when you're making the reed, after you tie it, let it dry closed. Don't open the end, okay? Because it's just going to blossom open. You'll never get the opening to close after it dries. Alright, so that's basically how I start it on both sides. Now, once you do that, just scrape the channels, 4 or 5 scrapes. Yeah, get the bark off. Alright, let's do this one too. And then I'll take the plaque, put it in the sides, and I'll pull it through, and then put it in. You know, just kind of see what we have here. Sharpen the knife a little bit. If you take some off the corners, you don't have to worry about it too much. Just try to get it even. It might help to measure the length, or where you want to start the tip. You really want to start it somewhere around 66 millimeters. I don't usually play reeds that are shorter than 69 or longer than 70. They're usually in between 69 and 70 millimeters in length. So we'll get the backwards ruler here. A little something. Yeah, it's pretty close. Now we just want to clean it up a little bit, clip it, see if it makes some noise, and then let it sit. Knife is nice and sharp now. As you can see, it doesn't take much effort. Alright, so this is basically what we got here. It's roughed in, not quite the same length. Let's even it out first, just a bit. Of course, doing through the camera is a little awkward, but I think you can really see what's going on when I do it this way. I'm right on the surface, and when you're scraping, another thing you can do is don't pick the knife up and reapply it. When you're doing the tip like this, keep the knife on the tip and keep it flat. What you want to do is scrape with intent. Scrape with meaning. Don't just blindly scrape a reed. Scrape it in a way that you want it to be. And by keeping the knife flat and on the surface of the cane as you scrape it, your intent will be seen better. You'll get better results. Okay, so we moved it back a little bit, and you see when I'm scraping the tip like this, I'm going a little further than I wanted to, but I'm more intense in this area where the blend meets the tip, and then as I go further, there's a lot of pressure right here that I'm using. Well, a lot, but not a lot, but a reasonable amount of pressure. But then as I go toward the tip, I release that pressure. Yeah, I pull away. I don't just push hard off the end of the cane. I kind of release. And, okay, it's closer. I mean, it's not great. Clip it. Now, this is the first step. It's not pretty, but this is how I start the reed, and then I set it down, let it dry for 1 or 2 days. So tomorrow, we'll come back to this. We'll do a little more. We'll get close to finishing it, and then let it set for another couple days.